Good evening and welcome to another episode of the Vegan Hour. This is Tuesday, the 1st of October.
Oh, a new month.
A whole new month, yes. And this is episode 19, and tonight I have vegan vlogger Amanda Dux. That was hard to say. Welcome along, Amanda. Thank you for coming.
So much
thank you for coming along tonight.
Me.
We're going to have lots of fun tonight. But first, let's talk about the wonderful people that sponsor the Vegan Hour. And in the background, you can see their vegan frothers, who actually, I'm going to be talking a little bit more about vegan frothers shortly because we've got some exciting things happening with them. But let's just get through a few other things first. So vegan frothers sponsor the Vegan Hour, where you can get cruelty-free clothing and you are supporting animal charities at the same time, animal rescue, animal farms, anything to do with animal. So also Syndian natural food products so that you can get anywhere around Australia at some of the big supermarkets or maybe at some of the smaller independent stores. So they support the Vegan Hour, and you should too. I can see lots of people coming online already. Even Simone says, you! Now, let's just have a look at what's coming up with events. So tomorrow night in Burleigh is the BKA Vegan Restaurant bowling night from 5 p.m. It's not this sort of bowling, it's bowls of food for only $12. So get along from 5 p.m. It's a good idea to book because it gets pretty busy for that one.
Yeah.
And also I'm having my vegan life, I'm having a dinner there on Friday night, which is also like a birthday dinner because it's my birthday on Friday. So I'll be there Friday night as well. So come along and say happy birthday and give me a free piece of cake, please. Anyway, now, I mentioned a minute ago that there's a few interesting things happening with vegan frothers. So let's have a look here. Last year, vegan frothers did a thing called a Tour de Froth. You familiar with that one?
Sure am.
Yes, the Tour de Froth was riding from the Gold Coast, this is on bicycles, riding from the Gold Coast to Adelaide, and it was called a life-changing bike tour. It went from, well, this year it goes from December the 1st to December the 31st. There is a support bus that goes along. There is everything organised as far as food, vegan food, of course. You had a friend, I believe, went along last year. Yeah. So you've got the vegan food, you've got the accommodation sorted out, and you can ride as much or as little as you like. And the idea behind the Tour de Froth is it's raising awareness for alternate and ethical choices for a better world. So if you want to know more about that, possibly Simone might even put a link in there for us, Simone, if you're so kind. Otherwise, I'll put a link in the comments afterwards. So you can join them, or you can also sponsor them. So with that link, you can go to Vegan Frothers, and you can just work out whether you want to pedal away or whether you want to just help support them. So there you go. Simone's on it. She's put the link to Tour de Froth.
All over
that
it.
is fantastic. Now, the exciting thing tonight, we're going to try and work out how to give you guys some free tickets to the 2019 Brisbane Vegan Expo. Now this is on in a bit over 2 weekends time, so the 19th and 20th of October. So it's from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. on the Saturday, which is the 19th, and 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. on the Sunday. So we've got 6 tickets. I remembered how many fingers 6 was. We've got 6 tickets to give away tonight. And what I want to know is why you would like some tickets. So some creative ideas. And Amanda and I will have a look at some of the comments coming in. And yes, if you've got some creative ideas for why you should win tickets to the 2019 Brisbane Vegan Expo, start typing now, and we'll see how quick you are, and we'll give some tickets away. Okay, that's got a very long introduction out of the way. That's that one gone. I hope I don't need that later. If you missed the beginning, I've got a vegan blogger, Amanda Dux, with me. Amanda is very big in the Instagram world.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Okay. No, she is. Also on YouTube. She's all over YouTube and Instagram. So if you're not familiar with Amanda, because I tend to follow more the Facebook world, then tonight here's your opportunity to find out more about Amanda and what her vegan passion is and so forth. So what I want to do first is find out from you why you're vegan, how you became vegan, your journey that you were sharing a little bit of with me before we went live, and I just loved it. So
yeah.
So
okay, cool.
Fire away.
All right. So basically, when I was 4 years old, So this is like 21 years ago now. I can remember visibly this moment where I was sitting at dinner with my family. My parents served me up a meat and 3 veg. It's some veg and a chicken parma, and something in me was just like, oh, I don't know about this.
And you were 4.
I was 4.
You were 4. Wow.
Yeah. So then I asked, my mum, what's for dinner? She said chicken parma, and I was like, hang on, is this chicken like the animal chicken? And she was like, yeah, it is. And for me, it was just like a no-go.
Had you been around chickens in real life at that young an age?
No, I just knew that it was an animal, and for me, even that young, it was didn't feel right. And so then this just kept happening over the years, where my parents would serve me up meat. I would ask what it actually was. They would tell me, and as soon as I knew that it was an animal, it was just an absolute no deal, and I wasn't having any of it. So eventually my parents accept that I'm vegetarian. And
how long did that take for them to really accept it? A few years?
I would say, a few years.
A few years of sort of trying to push their very young daughter into getting back to eating meat.
Yes, yeah. And then but I was having none of it. Even to this day, people say that I'm the fussiest vegan they'll ever meet. In what way? In your eating? Yeah, right. I'm very particular, but that's okay. Well, that's another story. But
actually, that's interesting. Particular as in you want to make absolutely sure that it's vegan, what you're eating?
No, I'm just like I'm a vegan who doesn't like mushrooms, who doesn't like olives, who doesn't eat mock meat, who doesn't like eggplant.
Actually, I am very surprised, considering on your Instagram the wonderful food that you share on there. I'm amazed that it's so restrictive almost.
Yeah, you'll never spot a mushroom. That's for sure.
Okay, that's incredible. You must make eating out with you must be a real nightmare.
Then basically I was vegetarian.
Yeah, so vegetarian from the age of 4.
Yeah, until. Goodness, how old am I? 4.5 years ago, so I'm like 20 years old, I went to an animal farm sanctuary called Edgar's Mission, which is an hour and a half out of Melbourne.
Yes.
And for me, I was always eggplant.
We have a comment from Simone there, for those watching this on YouTube later, that eggplant is a no-go zone for...
It is an absolute no-go zone.
Ironically, I think eggplant, when cooked up, is fantastic in a lot of the dishes I've had. At Greenhouse, for instance, they do eggplant dishes, and I've heard that Greenhouse is one of your favourite places.
It definitely is. You'll never catch me eating eggplant.
You're missing out. You're missing out. Okay, so you were at Edgar's Mission
I'm at Edgar's Mission, and I'm there because, to me, I'm living a very ethical life, because I'm not eating animals, and I think that that's ethically the right thing to do. And we were introduced to a cow and its calf that were at the sanctuary, and we got taught about the dairy industry. And I was never aware of the dairy industry. I was never aware of the way it worked. And I think a lot of people to this day still have this perception that dairy just gets produced naturally.
Yeah, and they just milk the happy cows.
Because we need to, right? And so,
Do you remember talking about that, what they actually said about the dairy industry, some of the main points they brought up?
The main point they brought up was that a cow with a calf is like a human with a human baby.
Yes.
And that breast milk produced by a woman for her child is the same as milk produced by a cow for their calf. And it never clicked in my head until that moment. And I was like...
And we're taking that away.
Yeah. And so to me, it was just as soon as I knew that information, it was like, well, why would I drink dairy?
Exactly.
Exactly. Why would I? So I basically from there decided that I wanted to be vegan, and I honestly struggled a little bit. I found it very easy to give up eggs and give up milk. Yeah. But I found it very difficult to give up cheese and chocolate and all these things.
Welcome to Casomorphines. Well, I should say welcome to the Casomorphines segment of the show. If you don't know what that is, try giving up cheese.
But so that was a bit of a struggle for me for like maybe 6 months to a year. I would like go vegan, and then I would have moments where I'd just like eat a lot of chocolate and eat a lot of cheese, and it just like, but eventually I got to this point where I was like, okay, no, I'm not doing it anymore. And then I just didn't do it anymore. And so now I've been vegan for 4.5 years.
Excellent.
And I feel amazing.
So did you notice a change there when you cut out the dairy? Did you notice it's sort of another step? Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. And the interesting thing is that I was always vegetarian, and I would go to my GP and get my bloods checked.
Right.
And as a vegetarian, I had really low iron and really low calcium. And then I learned about how drinking and consuming dairy products can stop you from absorbing nutrients from other food. Correct. And then I went vegan, and your bloods got better. My bloods got better, and they're perfect.
So I love stories like this. I love it because this is real world case studies, or whatever you want to call it, of what actually happens, as opposed to all the sort of indoctrination that we've been fed for so long. That you need the calcium from milk and all that. And you actually get the real world stories, and you go, well, hang on a second, that's not how it actually works at all. So that's the power of it. You're living it, and you're seeing the changes and all that. And you felt, did you feel a lightness in that as well, like just in overall, like maybe a feeling better that you'd made that decision?
It's like living with purpose and like being like, I intentionally am not contributing harm to animals and the environment, and that for me just feels a lot better. For me, like mental clarity, physically I felt a lot better. It's just like, I say it all the time, but like going vegan completely changed my life, and it's like,
and I think there's many people watching, and hopefully there's some pre-vegans watching that that will know what that experience is when you go vegan as well, because it is the best thing that you do in your life, because it's not primarily for us. It's not primarily for you. That's why it's the best thing you do, because you're actually performing this amazing service to help those that are struggling, so it's like, that's why it's so powerful, rather than all the other things we do. We buy a house, it's for us, we buy a car, it's for us, but this is a lifestyle choice designed to help other living beings. So that's a big thing. So so you've been vegan 4.5 years, and have you noticed in that time how much just the vegan awareness has changed, and the markets, and like how much is available in the marketplace, and just what's your thoughts on that?
So like, it's so incredible because you're in like these vegan Facebook groups and things like that, and you just like see all of these amazing products that are popping up like daily at this point.
And it literally is daily, isn't it? It like on some of the vegan forums, you have to check every day, because every day somebody's posting, we just discovered this, and we just discovered that. So like, wow.
And for me, like 4.5 years ago, it wasn't like, I was having to search quite hard for like vegan cheeses and things like that, and now it's just like, there's just an abundance. Like, it's literally so easy to get vegan cheese. Like,
I mean, how can anyone have an excuse nowadays to not be vegan? You've got the information, and you've got the availability now of the vegan products. So it's like, it's just so easy to do. There's no, we don't accept excuses. No excuses. And Matt has joined us. G'day, Matt. Thank you for saying hello. So, just talking about, I just want to go back to with the dairy, and your awareness of what's happening in the dairy industry. And there's so many areas that we can sort of look at there, like the fact that the dairy industry actually supports the veal industry, which is really, but there's a statistic, while you're talking about that, the dairy industry, a statistic came into my head that I discovered only in the last year or so, which really sort of just blew my mind, that worldwide, every year, so annually every year, 21 million male calves, 21 million are sent to slaughter. And I heard that statistic and I just went, that is insane. So we're talking mother and baby taken away from the mother who's grieving and slaughtered at usually within a few days, within 5 days or something. I think it was just like, how do you if that's not an evil Holocaust? And I don't use the term lightly because it is a systematic holocaust, and it's just so we got very heavy then, didn't we? Let's make it a bit lighter by saying we're giving away, if you missed it at the introduction, we're giving away 6 tickets to the 2019, I threw the piece of paper away, Brisbane Vegan 2019. See, I knew I'd need that. The 2019 Brisbane Vegan Expo that's on the 19th and 20th of October in Brisbane. We're giving away 6 tickets tonight. So I want to know why you would like some free tickets. And so I want to see some people get in here and vote for some free tickets. So, okay, so you have amassed a reasonably good following on, I'm going to say that now, not big. I'm going to say reasonably good following on Instagram. And on YouTube as well, where you like to sort of, what are the themes that you like to sort of promote to your followers?
Mainly, like, to me, I want veganism to look exactly how it is to me, which is easy. That's and good. It's not... I think that sometimes veganism can be perceived online as something that is like a very like strict diet, and like you have to eat like heaps of tofu, you have to eat like heaps of fruit, and like the thing is that everything's going to work differently for everybody. So it's like, you know, I acknowledge that some people like to eat heaps of tofu, some people like to eat heaps of fruit,
and some people like mushrooms.
And some people like mushrooms and some people don't. But the thing is that at the end of the day, all it comes down to is not eating animals and their byproducts, because you don't have to. And so for me, it's simply the message that I'm promoting is that you don't have to eat what I eat. You just don't eat animal products. That's simply it. And I also really just think that for me, veganism brought a lot of abundance into my life, in terms of like abundance of beautiful plant-based food and what you can do with it, and, you know, restaurants that you can go out and experience, and cooking to me is just something that I find a lot of love in. And then it also brought a lot of abundance into my life in terms of like mental clarity and stuff, so I also like to share that. And probably the most common message or comment that I'll get in terms of like having an impact on someone's life is a lot of young women saying that they feel like they can eat in abundance when they've always had a restrictive mindset with food. And to me, that's very, very important, because me 10 years ago, I thought that I had to restrict what I ate in order to be healthy. Whereas in reality, you eat in abundance to be healthy.
Yes, because 10 years ago you were vegetarian, and you know you still had the animal products in there, and then that means that no matter sort of what you were doing, it would have still been hard to be fully healthy. You know, no matter whether you're eating restrictively or however you're doing it, it would have been difficult. So you know, you put the right fuel in, and then it's like, well, you can eat in abundance, because your body should be functioning at a higher level, more efficiently.
I think just having a healthy mindset towards food and towards what you're putting in your body, like to me, veganism isn't about eating heaps of salad. To me, veganism is about eating like, heaps of salad, but also eating like brownies and stuff like that.
Now, wait till you get to my age and see if you can get away with that. You might have to eat heaps of salad then.
I don't want to eat salad. I can't even remember the last time I ate a salad.
I got to say, look, I can totally relate to that, Amanda, because I'm a long-term vegan that could never eat salad. It's like salad is so boring, you know. But put salad in a wrap. You know,
I'll get like potato salad with a heap of vegan mayonnaise, and coconut bacon on top.
Now you're talking, right?
That's my kind of salad.
So it's all about for you the creativity to do that. So it's like, okay, if I don't like salad, will I find a way to dress it up or something? But behind it all, and this is the thing that's the important message, is that it's the ethics behind it, isn't it? Because you're an ethical vegan.
100%.
So it's like, okay, I don't like salad. That's not an excuse for me to go and eat an animal product. It's like, well, I become creative. I still have my ethics. I find a way to make the salad appealing to me.
And to me, veganism is so many things. Like it's fun. It's brought a lot of friendships into my life. It's like I said, with mental clarity, it's brought so much in. It's brought a love for cooking. I'm more environmentally conscious because I've become vegan. So many things, but at the end of the day, I am vegan because I don't want to eat animals and their byproducts, and that's simply that. But there's so many other amazing things. Like, I'm not going to sit there in front of a camera and tell you not to eat animal products. I'm going to sit there in front of a camera and show you how to not eat animal products.
That's okay. So you're living by example.
Yeah.
Brilliant. I love it. And you're quite a whiz with the camera. You don't think you are?
The thing is that I think people say that, and then they see like what camera I film on and the laptop that I edit on, and they're like, how do you produce content?
Well, let's just set the. Why I say that is because I've bumped into you a few times at different events and stuff like that. But I remember I bumped into you again at the BKA vegan pre-opening, I think it was, almost a year ago.
It was like a menu tasting.
That's right, the menu tasting thing. I think it was maybe very late last year, December or something.
Yeah.
And, I walked up and you had your camera all set up. I was like, who is this professional?
I'm like standing on tables so that I can get the shot.
I'm like, and I'm there just going snap with my, with the phone. I'm like, so that's how you do it. I was almost going to go, wow, can I learn from you? But behind the scenes, the reality is it may not be quite that professional.
No,
but the end result is that the food looks super appealing, and your recipe creation and all that looks enticing, and the proof of that is the audience that you've generated through YouTube and Instagram. Yeah. So you're you don't promote it so strongly on Facebook.
No.
You're just not a big fan of Facebook. Any reasons?
I mean, I'm just not very I'm not a whiz at Facebook.
Right.
You might have to teach me a few things.
Yeah. Look, if I can use it, anyone can. See, I have the opposite philosophy. Instagram's more the younger person thing, right? So that's why you resonate with Instagram. Facebook, as I call it, is for us oldies. We're still hanging on to Facebook and doing our live streams and all that. And you guys are watching, which is really, really good. So as we, the 4th year of the Vegan Hour. So that's
amazing.
Yeah, I hope that's helped change some people too
in
that 4 years. So it will have, at least one person must have gone vegan in that time. So another thing, but I'm going to get back into talking about food because food is life. But another thing that I can resonate really strongly with your character is that you call yourself a sunshine lover. In other words, you feel that calling every morning to get down there, get on the beach, get the pre-dawn if you can get it before the sun comes up. Yeah. But we've got to fit it around the rest of our life. How would you describe in your words what that pull is to get down to the beach and get that morning feel? What's it for you?
Okay, this is the way that I described it to someone recently. This is going to sound like a bizarre explanation, but I randomly said in conversation, I really want to get a lemon tattooed on me because I have a zest for life. And that's the best way I can describe it. And,
that's good.
And honestly, when I spoke before about saying like veganism has changed my life in so many ways, it's also made me so appreciative of the life that I have.
Excellent.
And so for me, it's like, I want to get the most out of my life. And so that's why I get up and I watch the sunrise every morning because I live in one of the most beautiful places in the world. So why wouldn't I?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Do you feel your day is not a full day, like if you miss that?
Yeah, almost. It's like the most beautiful way to start the day as well, because it starts your day with such gratitude because it really is like, everyone always says that it's the simple things in life, and like it genuinely is. That's why so many people say it.
It is. And you're appreciating it at a relatively younger age. It's with my hindsight, I can say as the decades have rolled by, the thing that I appreciate now, like as each birthday comes around, is like it's not the presence of that. It's the presence of the people that matter. Yeah. That's the thing. It's the love that comes from the people around me. That's if somebody says, "What do you want for your birthday?" I say, "I just want your company." Yeah. I just want that wonderful connection that we have. Because after you've had all the presents, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
So, and you're appreciating it at a younger age, which is awesome.
100%. And it's interesting you bring up connection, because to me, like, connection with or everyone, but human connection is so important, and like just being able to be present and like experience things with different people and learn from different people. That's just like,
isn't that
so
fantastic?
valuable.
Isn't that fantastic learning? Like being sort of humble enough to learn from other people.
Yeah.
It's just I get it, like having wonderful guests like yourself come along, and at the end of the live stream, I go home and just go, that was just so wonderful to hear from that person, to get their viewpoint of life, to hear their experiences. I'm richer for it, you know, and that's what you're describing. That's what I'm hearing you describe. Yeah. You're richer for, you know, and you have a lot of these contacts and that, don't you? You have a lot of wonderful friends and that, you know, the vegan communities.
Amazing.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Pretty, what about non-vegans? Do you connect well with non-vegans? Or?
Yeah, I do. Like I have a lot of non-vegan friends. Most of my friends are vegan. But you know, my family aren't vegan, and I have a lot of friends that aren't vegan. Yeah. And
how does that work?
To me, I live with the motto, it's all about intention, not perfection.
That's good.
And I really encourage the people that I know who aren't vegan to do the best that they feel like they can do. Yeah. Because I feel like if I were to come at them with negativity, it would only make them eat more animal products. Yeah. Does that make sense?
No. I mean, they openly, that happens on forums. Yeah. You get people that are obviously non-vegan saying things like, well, I'm going to have a steak tonight just because in spite of you, sort of thing.
And that's the thing, like,
how does that work?
All of my friends or people that I've known who have gone vegan because of me have done it because they've seen me lead by a positive example, and they've seen how it's changed my life. So no one's gone vegan that I've known because I've been like really rude to them about it.
Or saying, you've got to do this.
I've been there. I've shown people documentaries in like a kind way and stuff like that, and then I've been like, I'm here with recipes, I'm here with whatever you need, and I've found that to be the most beneficial.
Food activism. Yeah, that's what it is, isn't it? Yeah, it's food activism, and it's way more powerful than, you know, it doesn't get talked about that much, but I think food activism actually works quite well on the coast because we have so many vegan places, you know, and I think, and also Brisbane and a lot of other places that you've been in as well that we were talking about earlier. I just want to get, I'll come back to this, I just want to get to some comments. Kathleen says, anything we create and eat will only ever be as interesting and tasty as we choose to make them. Sweet vegan friends. And thanks for that, Kathleen. And Helen says, hi Helen, thank you for watching. John says, I think veganism connects you to humans, animals and the environment in understanding, compassion and spirit. And
100%.
Well said, spot on. Well said, it does. And it follows in with that mental clarity that you started to get when you dropped the animal products. Yeah. And then that mental clarity for you followed into a gratitude for life. Mm-hmm. And it's almost like you go down the beach in the morning and I'm always picturing you going down and saying a prayer of thanks, you know, sort of like going, thank you. But, you know, because that's what it's like. It's that appreciation. It's like, let's put effort and energy into the things we appreciate. Yeah. So we appreciate the food that is life-giving. We appreciate the moments that are life-giving. We appreciate the connections that are life-giving. And, you know, those are the things that if you cement that as you're doing now as your foundation at a relatively early age, then you have a good sort of future ahead of you because that's a good foundation. So good on you.
I appreciate that.
You're heading in the right direction. And Maureen says, hi, thank you for watching, Maureen. I just noticed we're nearly up to 8 p.m. and we haven't given away any tickets. Doesn't anyone want free tickets to the 2019 Brisbane Vegan Expo on the 19th and 20th of October? Come on. I used to do competitions like every episode, and I haven't done one. I don't think I've done one this year. So it's rare that the Vegan Hour does competitions. So take the opportunity to win some free tickets to the Brisbane Vegan Expo. I actually bought my tickets. I paid for my tickets. I wasn't giving them. I paid for my tickets a couple of months ago. So there you go. Okay, so. one of the things that, we're talking about vegan food, we're talking about vegan restaurants and that, and I'm super passionate about the changes that have happened in my huge 39 years of being vegan, right? It's going from eating cardboard, almost, if you wanted a good meal, you had to eat at home, pretty much, right?
Yeah.
Or you had to go to a non-vegan restaurant, which would have been a rare occasion for me way back in decades ago, and try and get something that was vegan, right? Now we are so sport for choice. And do you want to say on air some of your favourite places? Did you go there?
Absolutely.
You happy to give them a shout out?
This is the thing.
That's good.
Especially my friends know that because I love food so much, I'm almost like a bit of a critic.
Well, I would call you a foodie.
Yes.
So you're a bit of a critic. Good. Excellent.
Yes.
Excellent.
So the places that I say that I love, I like really love.
And and also if you love them, then that's a good sign that their standard is really good.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
So the first place, I want to talk about places on the Gold Coast, but the first place I want to mention is someone that's not on the Gold Coast.
Okay, yes.
And this is a cafe. If you're from Melbourne, if you're going to travel to Melbourne, if you want to make a trip somewhere for some awesome vegan food, you should go to Melbourne and you should go to Particle Cafe.
Particle Cafe, yeah.
It is the best vegan food I've had in my entire life. So the best food that I've had in my entire life.
Yeah.
There's this amazing barbecue jackfruit burger with rice paper bacon, vegan aioli, vegan cheesy sauce.
Wow.
It is divine. It comes with roast potatoes on the side. And one of my favorite things about this cafe is that they have like every plant milk under the sun. Like they have. Great. I was actually telling someone about this today. Yeah. They have soy, coconut, almond, Brazil nut, hazelnut, macadamia, cashew, hemp, oat, and the rebel milk.
They missed one.
What did they miss?
Pea milk.
Absolutely not.
You reckon they've got it?
No, they wouldn't have it. But like,
pea milk is fantastic. You can buy it in Coles. Seriously.
Wow.
Have you not tried it?
No, I haven't.
It's not cheap. It's $4 per, I think it's a litre, right? But they sometimes have it on sale for $2. It's actually really nice. Has anyone tried? I can't remember who makes it. What the brand? It's a simple. Has anyone tried the pea milk from Coles? It's the only place I've seen it. Top shelf in my local Coles. But there you go.
There you go.
There you go. They don't have pea milk. So Particle Cafe, if you're in Melbourne, gets a good shout out.
Definitely recommend. When it comes to the Gold Coast.
We have a mutual
we do. So I would say it's good because I came prepared for this question because someone asked me this question yesterday, so it's very, very easy for me to answer. For breakfast or lunch, my favorites are Blend Love, Nude Sisters Whole Food Kitchen, and Niche & Co. So good. All of them have really great pancakes.
I was waiting for one in there that you didn't say.
What were you waiting for?
I was waiting for you to say greenhouse.
No, I was talking about breakfast.
Sorry, okay, yeah.
But then we go to dinner, then we go to dinner, and greenhouse, number one.
Yeah. Kathleen says, sorry, Harry, don't do any type of milk. Fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Cool.
What works for you, Kathleen. That's fine. Greenhouse, yes.
So greenhouse.
Have you got a favourite jackfruit burrito? Is that?
No. My favourite things to order. Okay, this might be a bizarre thing, but my favourite thing.
It'll be creative.
On the menu is the antipasto board.
Oh yes. Okay. Yeah.
It is just divine.
I have had it once. Yeah.
It's so good, and I also love the cauliflower wings and the mac and cheese.
Yeah. Yes. Mac and cheese. Yes. Actually, another place I know you like ran a special recently, and they did a mac and cheese burrito.
I heard about this and I didn't get it.
You missed out.
It.
That was the best mac and cheese burrito. And then the following week they did a pizza burrito, I think it was, which was almost as good, but the mac and cheese burrito was the best. And we are, of course, talking about
Goodness gracias. If I lived closer, I would be there all the time. It is so good. And then what else? What's the other place? Oh, Tian Ran. Tian
Ran, yes. Tian Ran, for people on the Gold Coast, that was the first fully vegan place on the Gold Coast. Opened 13 years ago, so it's actually quite a pioneer. And not long after it opened, the no longer existing Mandella's started in its original form as Three Worlds Pizza Shop, or whatever it was called, when Brendan first started it. So around the same time. So unfortunately, Mandella's, you know, everyone mourns Mandella's.
I know, we truly do.
The best cashew cheese, whatever on the top of the spelt-based pizzas were just
delish.
And they made some really good waffles and anyway. So let's step away from the Gold Coast. Do you get up to Brisbane very often? Do you check out?
I don't.
You don't get up there very often,
No,
so you haven't checked out.
But I am planning on doing like a vegan foodie tour in Brisbane. So if anyone knows any good spots.
Look, you've got to, while we're talking about vegan restaurants, you've got to check out Yavana.
I haven't heard of it.
I've been there twice. The first time I went there, it just blew me away. I just went, this is super impressive. Like, I was so happy that as I drove home, I did a live stream in the car about saying, you've got to check this out because this place is amazing. I was with a mate of mine and he ordered a Satan steak that looked so real. It was, or Satan, whatever you want to call it, Satan or Satan, but the steak looked that real. It was almost scary, you know. Yeah. And I can't remember what I had, a thing called a Brini or Barisi or something. It was like a big folded over. Oh, I'm no good with food descriptions. Anyway, it was amazing. So, and the second time I went back was equally as good. So Yavana is fantastic. But there's so many. Brisbane's got, you know, Greenhouse up there. Of course, it's got. You can have breakfast actually at Greenhouse's. Flora, yes, which is really good up there. They've got more. They cater more to breakfast trades in a few of the different places there. So even this weekend, talking about Brisbane, before we go on to some other things, Loving Hut is starting breakfast from this Saturday, from 7:30 a.m. for the month of October. And I love Loving Hut because it's just simple, affordable. You always get exactly the same meal. It mightn't be elaborate, but it's actually really. I know what I'm getting, and I love it. It's just predictability. You know what I mean? It's that predictability. I just see someone that joined.
Sam and Renee, hello.
I see two people that joined, and talking about wonderful places. We haven't mentioned Familiar.
I haven't gone to see Sam in a while, and that's why I always run into you.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. I was there one night, and you'd been there ages. I didn't even notice you'd been there.
I have. Yeah. I don't get down that way very much anymore.
When you get down to Familiar again, they have Sam's put on a thing called Ribwich, which is like a sub with like with mock meat. I know you're not a big mock meat fan. The mock meat rib thing that was amazing.
My favourite thing at Familiar is the arancini burger. It's just the best.
This is the best vegan hour ever because we're just talking about all the best foods. If you get down, Familiar is in Casuarina in northern New South Wales, and what Sam has done with Familiar is amazing. Fully vegan takeaway. That's just people drive down from Brisbane.
Yeah.
To go there because the burgers are that good. You can get She's burgers now for $6.90. Sam's just like, it's amazing. So, and definitely, the arancini burger and the falafel burger's pretty good too. And free refills in the drinks and oh my God.
Can't beat it. Now I really feel like going to Familiar.
Yeah. And they're going to be opening up, reopening for dinner Fridays and Saturdays, maybe Sundays. If Sam, if you're still watching, you might be able to help us with that. So they're going to be reopening, and so get down there. Kathleen says, so exciting that more vegan eat-outs are popping up now. Well, this is the thing that I get, so this is why I'm so passionate about it, because, and you know, you're seeing it too, we're all seeing it, the amount of, for me, because I like to support, you're probably aware, I like to support the fully vegan places, the amount of fully vegan places opening up has impressed me because just in the last less than 2 weeks ago, another one opened in Surface. Little Vegan Elephant.
Oh.
Fully vegan Asian food.
Oh.
You didn't know that one.
I didn't know that.
So, there's a few things that I can still keep up with. So that's just opened in Surface. So that's another fully vegan place. It's like, wow. Yeah. So, but if you're not supporting fully vegan, you know, and you're going to places with the vegan options, there is just
So much.
So many places.
Yeah.
So many places. Pretty much every place now has either a separate menu or options on their menu. You know. I'm thinking actually even about 4 years ago I was in Noosa staying a couple of nights and could not find a fully vegan place at that time that was open at night. They had a place that was open in the day called Go Vegan Deli, but it wasn't open at night. And I went to Montezuma's and they had almost a complete separate vegan menu, and it was damn impressive.
Wow.
So it was really good meal. So, you know, that was one of the rare occasions where I went to a non-vegan place, but I didn't mind, you know, it didn't feel like I was in a, anyway. Yeah. Right. So what about, let's expand our circle here to outside of Gold Coast and Brisbane as far as eateries that you like. You mentioned Particle. Is there any other shout outs for down the southern part of Australia?
Yes. I don't know if you've heard of this place in Melbourne called GoJ.
I haven't heard of GoJ.
GoJ is a fully vegan frozen yogurt store. And it's like your classic vegan frozen yogurt, and they make it all there, and they make it on homemade milks, on cashew.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And the flavors are so unique, and like all of their toppings, like they make like carrot cakes and blondies and all of this stuff to put on top. And it's all vegan.
Wow.
Right? And people walk in there and they don't even know.
Yeah, that's good. When people don't even know, I reckon that's brilliant because it's no different for them. You know?
No.
So it's that good, you know. So.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
GoJ is, I'm going to Melbourne
how do you spell it? Go, G-O.
G-O-J-E.
G-O-J-E. Okay, GoJ, yeah. I would have looked at the word and pronounced it Godge.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really.
Wow.
It's so.
I know of a few others down there, Smith and Daughters, whatever it is. I think.
I used to, when I first went vegan, I was there like every week.
I can understand that. Yeah. Okay, so there are about. John says there are about 6 or 7 vegan cafes on the Sunshine Coast. Yes, most are only open during the day. One of the best cafes. I'd probably maybe say the best cafe that I've ever been is on the Sunshine Coast, Cafe V.
Cafe V.
Now, I went there shortly after they opened, which was late last year or early this year, so around about that time. And they were just starting to open up, and they only didn't have a lot of customers. You have a look at some of the photos on their page, and it is astounding. They get packed out, and they should get packed out because it's run by a couple of brilliantly the happiest guys I've ever met. And I love mentioning Cafe V because their inspiration to create Cafe V came through me. Which I couldn't believe when they messaged me privately and told me this, but they said, we love that you have always been promoting fully vegan places, and that inspired us to move from Melbourne to the Sunshine Coast and open our own fully vegan place. And I'm like, are you kidding me?
That's awesome.
So it was like, wow. So you can. So this is getting back to what we were talking at the beginning about influencing, and you were saying, the influence you have on the people that are following you. So we just don't know. You
don't realize it. Like to me, it doesn't like feel like a real thing. Like I make videos with obviously the purpose to help people, but I also just genuinely enjoy it.
Yeah.
And you don't realize it until like you meet people in person and they say, hey, you really helped me, or they'll message you like a paragraph saying, like, this is how you've really helped my life and stuff like that. And it's so true. Like, even doing something with a positive intention and having the impact on one person, and even if the one person you impact is yourself, that's enough.
I like that. That's good.
And that's good. That is what I believe. Like, doing everything with like heart and like knowing that regardless of what you do, you're doing it with a positive intention and it's going to help you, and that's enough. But in turn, you are likely to help other people as well.
That is fantastic. And John's put the link to Cafe Cafe V.
Ooh, I'm gonna have to check it out because I haven't been to the Sunshine Coast since living on the Gold Coast, and I really need to go.
Well, what's really good talking about Cafe V is that it's in Butterham, which, have you ever been to Butterham?
No.
Beautiful. It's like stepping back in time. It's on a little plateau. You go to the township and it's got that old world charm. And it's like, you know, I drove in there and I hadn't been there for, I don't know, a long time, maybe. Anyway, I hadn't been there for years. It was almost like driving onto a movie set that was set back in the 50s or 60s, you know. It's like, is this real, you know?
Yeah,
it's that sort of charm. You just drive down the street and go, this is the way I want the world to be everywhere, you know?
Yeah.
So, and then to have a cafe there that it's just, the food is amazing. It's layout. You have to experience the layout. The indoor and outdoor layout is brilliant. It's so well done. And just these beautiful people running it, and beautiful people working there, so I love it. So I love what you've said there, that, you know, even if the one person you influence is yourself, you know, that's really, really important.
100%.
In your journey, you know, you've realised the importance of working on yourself, haven't you?
Yeah.
And you know, we were talking about that a little bit before. I don't know how much you want to share. I didn't really ask how much you want to share.
I put everything on the internet anyway, so it's like,
And I will say, what I love that what you put on Instagram, and I mentioned this to you before we went live, was that you did write some. I'm not going to go into the details, but I loved something that you wrote in the last couple of weeks. I love your ability to express your vulnerability and the emotional rawness of what you'd experienced, and express it in a way that was so damn eloquent that I read it and I learnt from it so much. I thought, that's the way you write. That's the way you express yourself in a way that people will just resonate with that message. When you put that message out there, and you know the one I'm talking about, what was the response from people?
Overwhelmingly positive.
Yeah, it must have been.
And that's because I'm just sharing like my real, raw, authentic self, and that's what people can relate to. Because I think that a lot of people, you know, like Instagram can be a beautiful place. It can also be a place that's not real life.
It's definitely not real life.
No. So for me, it's like, I was saying this to you earlier, I want people to read or to look and to realize that it's okay to be vulnerable and real and raw, and to live with authenticity and with love. And
this is why your audience resonates with you, because you're real.
Yeah.
You know, and you're discovering, as you're going along and discovering life and discovering these things and the highs and the lows, and you're sharing it in a way that's not judgmental. It's like, here's a discovery that maybe you'll be able to resonate with as well.
Yeah.
You know, and so people are reading it, they go, wow, I'm glad you shared that.
Yeah.
You know, rather than the glossy, you know, fake Instagram things. That there are studies talking about that. There's studies being done on it, and that thing where people are always sharing like a fake sort of, you know, my life is so great, leads to depression amongst people, thinking that their life is not equal to it.
And I even do it. Like,
you fall into that trap as well.
Yeah, I can fall into that trap.
It's like, how come my life isn't this good?
How come I'm not traveling 24/7? How come I'm not, and like,
how come I'm not on a beach in the middle of the Seychelles or something like that, you know? And there's a big yacht out there and all the rest. It's like,
So I think in saying that, I try and share those vulnerable moments that I'm having in my life, because I want to be like someone that I need to follow. Does that make sense?
That makes so much sense. And you know what is interesting is that your strength is your vulnerability.
100%.
And that is such a beautiful thing for me when I see that in anyone. That especially interestingly when I see a guy do that.
Yeah.
Because it's so much harder, generally speaking, right, for a guy to express, right? They've got the whole false bravado, you know, I'm a man. It's like, jeez. Look, I'm a guy. I don't get the whole male thing. I might be in a male body, but I don't get it, right? It's just, anyway. And that. But when a guy breaks through that, when he's had enough hits or enough, whatever it is, life lessons, whatever you want to call it, enough struggles, and he breaks through that and can express that in a way that is ultimately, I think positive because it's not done as a self-pity thing, because that's a trap that people fall into as well. It's done as the way you're doing it. It's a learning. This is what I've learnt. I fell down a bit. I'm learning to pull myself back up again. So you do that, and people sort of go, "Wow, I respect that."
Yeah.
And that's what you're finding.
I'm finding that the more real and the more honest I am about things that I might be going through, the more people reach out and express the same things that they've been going through.
I see. That's good.
And I think
it's empowerment.
Yeah, and I think like we're all human, and like I especially have a predominantly female audience, right? And so it's like a lot of women are going through things that I have been through or I'm starting to go through now, and to be able to be like, oh yeah, cool, it's not just me that feels this way. It's nice, it's refreshing.
It is, isn't it?
And that's how you connect. And like how I was saying, human connection is so important to me. In the same sense, I love being able to connect with people online, like who could be on the other side of the world.
Yes, it's beautiful that we can do that with technology. But as you've said there, I'll put in my words, there has to be the balance. Without the balance, you lean too far one way, then you're missing out on the other. And, going back to human connection, for any of us, try living without it. Can't be done.
No.
Right? It just can't be done. And in fact, when they do studies on people that have disorders, usually mental disorders, and sometimes they become extreme mental disorders and they end up becoming violent individuals, right? And so they become like serial killers or something like that. When they do profiles of them, you will see that they are usually, I don't know if antisocial is the right word, but they don't have a strong connection with a human connection. And because they don't have that, it's not fulfilling that need, they go off the rails.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, so it's sad. It's actually really sad.
Yeah.
Because it actually shows that if you don't have a strong human connection, that you can develop serious issues. So it's very, so that's Kathleen says, think that old attitude is slowly being broken down now, Harry. Yes,
I agree.
With the men not being, yes.
I think
hopefully. Yes, I hope so.
I find that especially like a lot of men that I know who are my age, especially in the conscious kind of community, are very, very super open and vulnerable. And like I've met so many men now who are like, I'm a very open and vulnerable person in my day-to-day life, and I've connected with so many men as well who have been that way.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
I love it when you meet a guy that can cry at a commercial or something like that.
Don't you love it?
Because I'm like, good, I'm not the only one doing it. So it's wonderful. That's what we need here. The ability to share our emotions without feeling like we're going to be judged for it, or there's something wrong with us. And my father's generation, so we go back there, I see a lot of that came through in that, people of that age and the generations leading up to my time. A lot of that, real men don't show emotion attitude, sort of thing. Real men don't cry. I think that was the saying, right? Because that was sort of what my upbringing when I was quite young from my father was. It was like, there's something wrong with you if you're showing emotion, So it took a long time in my journey to get to that point of like, no, it's actually not only okay to express it, but it's crucial and necessary.
Absolutely.
You have to express your emotion. So, and regular followers of posts on my page know that I post sometimes some very personal stuff. And I feel like it's just necessary to get it out there. There is stuff I don't post, obviously. There's a lot of stuff we don't post. We share with our close friends or whatever, But there are other things that I share. And then I get feedback. I'll get private messages from people saying, really appreciate, like you're getting, the same thing. It's like, good on you for saying that because, that helped us understand that we're okay to experience that as well.
Yeah.
So now let's go completely in a different direction and talk about ethical clothing.
Oh, wow.
There was a curveball. Are we talking about, can you not eat animals? You should bring it a bit closer so we can see it.
I don't know if we can. How am I going to get up there? Oh my goodness.
That's good. Yeah, we've got both cameras. Excellent. Can you not eat animals? That is your own creation.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
Well, like over over a year ago, I started with a friend thinking like I really wanted like to wear some like have some like wearable vegan apparel because I want to promote a positive message in my day-to-day life, right? And sometimes you got to wear it. And I was like, this was something that personally I would wear.
Yeah.
And so then I just was like started designing stuff, and now myself and a close friend of mine, we've created this business called Apparel by Alma. Alma is my late grandmother's name. And when I made it, it was because she's always been someone who believed in me.
Oh, excellent.
But then when I launched the brand, it turns out that Alma means soul in Portuguese and Spanish.
Right, yes.
Which was a very beautiful coincidence.
Yes, that is.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so, now we just have, like, everything's ethically produced.
Fantastic.
And everything's hand printed in Melbourne.
And you have a website?
Yeah.
Oh, excellent. Let me enter a website in. Hang on.
Apparel.
APPARE. I can't remember how many L's. Just one L? Yeah. By
Alma.
ALMA?
Yeah. .com. That's it.
Wonder if that'll work.
Should do.
Let's see what we got. It's loading and it's... Yeah, I hope I've spelled it right. There's a link there. Okay, so people can go to your website.
Yeah,
have a
you can
look
go
at
there,
the different designs.
Have a look.
And order direct from the website, obviously. Yeah,
that's
fantastic.
Yeah, we hand print everything.
How many different designs?
I'd say we have like maybe 6 or 7 now. The most popular, I didn't even wear the most popular one. The most popular one we have is this sweater. It's like a green sweater and it says vegetables, but it's in like the Vogue font.
Okay.
Like the magazine.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
Yeah. And so
I'm obviously not their target audience.
But yeah, that's been the most popular. So it's a nice little passion project.
Oh, that's fantastic! Again, it's almost like a giving back, isn't it? You know, it's like, okay, this is where I'm at. What can I do to help? Because ultimately, when we live a life that way, which is what I call a life of service, we get a fulfillment. You know, so it's we feel like we're doing something worthwhile, rather than the way most people live, where it's like a self-centered one of like, what can I get for myself and all that. If we can do something that gives back, then we can go to bed at night going, I feel really good about what I achieved today. You know, and that's what we want to be able to do. There's a couple of comments there that John says men are a bit slow on the uptake. Oh, slow is it? How about backwards? No, it's I've got to go easier on men, but it's just that I've seen so many decades of men being slow on the uptake. It's hard for me to believe that it's changed. It's a bit like it's this has come into my mind a lot lately. There's been so much awareness in the vegan awareness in the world now, right? Companies have embraced it, people have embraced it, and it's for somebody like me that I realise now in my thoughts that I probably never thought that this would happen. In other words, I have almost a negative mindset from seeing decades of just insensitivity and non-interest, you know. So to get to this point now in 2019 where there is just such awareness happening and so much activism on all different levels, and that I realise now I have to retrain my thinking and get away from this like, hating the world because it's not changing. Yeah. You know? Yeah. There's a little bit component of that in there. Yeah. So I'm going to have some words to myself and sort of go, hang on, Harry, you know, it's not, you know, the world is actually changing.
Yeah. And the thing is that, like, the way that I would put it is like, you said the words hating the world for not changing, but if we hate the world for not changing, it's never going to change.
That's right. And as you are clever enough to know, that hate is just something that we carry in ourselves. The world doesn't feel it. Yeah. It's only us that feels it, right? So that's something that I've become aware of. So there's a bit of expression of my own vulnerability in that I've come up with. There's a lovely comment there from do you pronounce her name Kia?
Kia.
Kia, yeah. Love Amanda Duckworth and her content. So good for the vegan community. She is so good for the vegan community. I wish that we could have given away tickets to the 2019. Actually, you know what? We've gotten to the end of the show and we had 6 tickets to give away to the 2019 Brisbane Vegan Expo. And seeing as nobody's come up with a good thing, a reason why they should have them, if you want them, send me a message and I'll free up 1 or 2 of them for you. And yeah, so send me a message after the live stream and I'll get that organised for you. So
perfect.
I can't believe an hour is gone. Can you believe an hour is gone?
No. I literally came in here. I remember I was like, I do not know what I'm going to talk about for an hour. Like,
yeah, but I warned you that I could talk underwater.
It's great, honestly.
So I want to say thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, because
so grateful.
Because guys, if you're not following Amanda on Instagram, please follow her on Instagram and on YouTube. And I'll put the links, I should have put it in the title, but I'll put the links there so that people can be inspired by you. More people can be inspired by you and the way you live your life. We need more people that live the life the way you do. So keep up the good work.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
So I'm going to start winding up now by mentioning that I'll be back in 2 weeks' time for episode 20 on the 15th of October with Alexis and Karen, or Corinne, I'm actually not sure if I'm pronouncing her name correctly, from Plant-Based Lifestyles. What's that all about? Well, tune in 2 weeks' time to find out. And as always, this episode will be on YouTube hopefully within a day, and you'll be able to rewatch all our zaniness then. So I hope you've enjoyed. Thank you. I hope you've enjoyed the episode. Thank you to everyone that's been watching, all your comments and that. And I've still got some tickets to give away to the 2019 Brisbane Vegan Expo. Last call. So send me a message. I want to do something with them so I can give. Until I see you next time, remember to live vegan and save lives. Thank you again, my friend.
Thank you.
And have a great night, everyone. Good night.
Bye.